In other news, going west, we head to San Francisco, which San Francisco has been the poster child for lawlessness and defunding the police. It doesn't get any more anti-cop than on the political side of things than San Francisco. And the mayor has finally had enough. So I want to browse this article real quick. There it is. Beautiful. Thank you. Irving Kristol. Whoa.
She had a very long finger, by the way. She's pointing a finger.
Oh, okay. Here we go. In July 2020, Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, announced her plan to defund the police, cutting $120 million from the law enforcement fund social programs. Result? Crime skyrocketed. Oh, you don't say. Literally like an 8-year-old, if you explain to them what defunding the police meant, they're going to take this. An 8-year-old would be able to know, well, wouldn't that mean more bad guys are going to do bad things? And be like, yeah, that's smart. So I'm just going to wing it. Anyway, let's pick back up. San Francisco is more dangerous than 98% of U.S. cities. In November alone, there were 3,375 reports of larceny theft citywide. Don't forget, in San Francisco, guys, you can literally, if it's under, remember the number? It's $900 some dollars. Tansy,
I thought it was like under $200, but
if it's somewhere is like $900 is the threshold. If you walk into, like, multiple Walgreens have closed down because they can't sustain the theft anymore.
Did you see the pictures of the where they put all the barbed wire and concertina wire around the shopping areas of the high-end stores to prevent people from smashing grabbing?
No.
So it like literally looks like a post-apocalyptic war zone, just like circle strands of concertina wire. It's really insane. Did we just lose Mike?
I'm back.
Oh, there it is. He's back, baby. Oh, we switched sides.
We switched sides. That's how we do it. We switch it here.
Here, I can fix it real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah. I'm so curious. Who is this phone call from, underpaid producer? I mean, that was so important.
It was the dealership, and my car is ready.
Your car's still going to be ready after the show.
No, but I didn't know if it was the dealership or somebody that was calling about the home edition I want to do. So I was like,
This has nothing to do with the show, guys.
I had to take it.
Hey, listen. If people want to know why I call him the underpaid producer, why do I keep him underpaid? It's because of stuff like this.
Man,
we're in the middle of a show.
We are
the number one law enforcement meets culture podcast in the universe. And your car transmission, what? Next thing are you gonna call about your extended car warranty and figure that out while we're live?
Yeah.
Everybody go to the underpaid producer's Instagram and blitz it, spam it.
Thanks.
With I don't know what. Anyway, can you bring the article back up so we can actually get back to business around here?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
Adam says, calm down, Mike.
Dude, I added it. Gosh, okay.
All right. Back to San Francisco. Where do we leave off? People, you were talking about when I so crazily exited the studio, you were talking about cantina wire or something like that, putting around stuff.
No, yeah, it was just like they put concertina wire around some of the big shopping.
Yeah, they made stealing basically decriminalized. Okay. In the Central District, home to many of the city's tourist hotspots, there were 876 reports of smash and grabs, almost 30 a day, a 98% increase from the year before. In the Tenderloin District, there are midday shootings and residents are forced to walk in the middle of the streets to avoid drug dealers and homeless people lying on the sidewalk shooting up. San Francisco residents now have a 1 in 16 chance of becoming a victim of violent or property crime. 1 in 16. That's nuts. No wonder it's literally the worst city in America right now. Keep scrolling down. The crime wave finally convinced Breed to reverse course. It's time the reign of criminals who are destroying our city, she said, to come to an end. She is refunding the police increasing the budget to $689 million in the 2022 to 2023 fiscal year, nearly matching the all-time high. And she is ordering police to combat the rash of retail thefts, conduct felony warrant sweeps, stop open-air drug dealing and substance abuse, and establish safe passage for citizens.
Didn't we see this in New York? Didn't we see this in New York about a decade ago? Where they were like, enough's enough. And then stop and frisk came, and then everything got back to normal, and we got comfortable. And then we thought, well, now it's not easy enough to commit crimes anymore, so we're going to get rid of stop and frisk. And you know, this is kind of like when we talk about the pendulum. We talk about that pendulum swinging, and you see it finally going the other way. The pendulum has been going the opposite direction since probably 2012 or 2010. And so you had like a full 10 years of the pendulum going against law enforcement. And now after 10 years, we're getting the swing the other direction. So now is a good time to be a cop because you're still at the pendulum way over here. But your whole ride as a cop right now, the pendulum's going to be swinging the other way. So your whole career is going to be kind of gravy train for the next 10 years. So now would be a great time to become a cop.
Yeah, she said, where did that go? What I'm proposing today and what I will be proposing in the future will make a lot of people uncomfortable, and I don't care, Breed said. The time has come to be, quote, more aggressive with law enforcement, more aggressive with the changes in our policies, and less tolerant of all the bull crap that has destroyed our city. Now,
they have to do something. They have to do something because people are getting fed up. I mean,
well, people are fleeing San Francisco at record rates.
And people aren't opening businesses, and they've got a real problem on their hands. And like I said, when you look at these pictures of fine, fancy businesses putting concertina wire, you think they're going to keep that concertina wire out front of, you know, Macy's forever or, Chanel forever? You think Chanel wants razor wire outside of there? No, they're going to simply pack up and move to Florida probably.
This is the same way Detroit used to be. And now, but it took a long time to change. San Francisco, the politicians, Nancy Pelosi and other representatives of that city in her district, this mayor, all of them have done not irreparable damage, but they have damaged that city for at least the next 10 years. This is not something that's just going to change overnight. The tide has to shift, and there has to be a walking back
and here's
just to get back to where you were, let alone make progress.
Here's a Tanstradamus prediction for the next 10 years. They're going to go hard in the paint.
I like that.
They're going to go hard in the paint for the next 5 years. After the 5-year mark, the law enforcement's going to get a little too comfortable with running and gunning, and they're going to be really taking people down. Then you're going to start seeing some news of the corruption going on. A lot of these criminals are going to get upset, and they're going to try to civilly sue a lot of their law enforcement officers. And then it's going to be a 5-year shift again. And so at the 10-year mark, 10 years from now, we're going to be right back to where we're at today. So history always repeats itself. So they're going to go hard in the paint for 5 years, then they're going to start to diminish for the next 5 years, and then we're going to be right back to where we are in 10 years, and then take another 10 years. It's just going to
it's literally the opposite. The sort of like broken window theory that was applied in New York City coming out of the 80s. And if you guys don't know, I mean, New York City was a cesspool in the late 70s into the 80s. I mean, it was disgusting. The crime was out of control, and there was a ton of corruption in the police department at the time, a lot. And they shifted this by focusing on that broken window theory, which I believe in wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
you have
100%.
to start dealing with the little things so that you stop it before it grows into something big. You have to cut it off early so that it doesn't develop. And now what San Francisco did was try, and so many cities, is try the opposite. Well, let's just let the little things go. It's a big deal if someone pees in the street? Is that really that big of a deal? You know, someone takes a candy bar from a store. Is that really that big of a deal? Like, let's just decriminalize this stuff. And if we give them this space to express themselves, then they won't want to do bigger crimes. And we have 6,000 plus years of human history recorded. I think. I mean, maybe I'm off on that. Some scientist or historian can correct me. We have enough data at this point, people, to know that doesn't work. It doesn't work. We live in a world where people are going to do more and more bad stuff if their intentions are bad. And so you have to cut it off early.
Yeah, well, it's getting cleaned up, and I think the world is... I think we have seen the light. And I think like I said, the pendulum is going the other way, which is a great time to buy our t-shirt, Defund the Police, written in the same font as the Defund the Police. So now's the time to get your Defund the Police. It's a perfect time. Use that promo code GUGU.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this clip of the Failure to Stop podcast. If you like the show, the clips that you're seeing here, you can listen to the full episode wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to drop that 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to connect with us on social media, look for Failure to Stop, whatever platform you're on.